And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now back to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Patriot!
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Watch it now, Barney. Now let's go. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're on offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So on 4th down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 16. Play action. Now Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking middle, and that's complete. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, the 20, 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Wilson back into his end zone. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Wilson from his end zone on 3rd and long. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. A nice Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Gun! Detroit! All right, now, look at 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Try to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10.
Check 50. Zebra.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Flushed out right. And he finds Penny. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Penny, a first down carry. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Let's go work. Let's go to work. Gun. Let's go, 14. Hey, over here. Check 50, check 50.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. That's going to set him back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Kelsey, the intended receiver there. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offensive coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
14.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described. It is a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Letting one go. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
19. There. Check 50, check 50. 14. Gotta go. 14.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
McCaffrey on the counter. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the 19. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. 1st and 10 at the 19.
Gun! Detroit!
Back to throw here. That is caught. at the 7. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, a nice spin. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Here's Wilson to throw. And Daniels has it left side. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Now Wilson on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Yeah, baby, boom. Check 50, check 50. Right, check 51, check 51.
Again, it's Penny.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Right, 380. Big jumbo, big jumbo, big jumbo. Empty. Right.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he stopped immediately there.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Wilson on the keeper. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing is Wilson. There he goes inside the 30. This complete to Lock. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Colby Listenby, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Oh, this is blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
As you tell me all the time, Brandon, mark that play down. That should be a tie game. Instead, a great job by the guys blocking it. And, boy, they've got to have a great lift going off the field.
And the further it happens in the game and here in the second half, it just gets more magnified. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Over! Detroit!
Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll go deep down the middle. He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. Elsewhere, second half action at Heinz Field. And it's the Redskins scoring again to open up that lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. This is McCaffrey on the give. And now running right through it. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a catch right side by Evans. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough? Excellent
question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Now Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
He'll drop to throw. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
18.
Play action. It's Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Daniels. And he's got this down to the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now, a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Daniels. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Pass incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
19. Gotta go. 14.
To throw again is Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Throwing again here, Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Gold now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Detroit! Detroit!
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Vikings on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they can't bring him down. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Tempo, tempo.
They go play action now. Wilson flushed out right. It's caught right side by Daniels. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart football.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, Wilson. It's caught left side by John Brown. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And
the yardage, and of course, the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
19. Shotgun.
They go play action with Wilson. Steps away to his left. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They set themselves behind the chain play, and it backfired.
didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
They'll try and start this drive in the air, escaping the pressure right. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Going deep for Diggs. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say, on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the 1st. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56. All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. David Emerson able to bring him down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he'll go out near midfield at the 40.